Update 7.6 is coming later this week in Marvel Strike Force, and as usual, we're doing an update preview to get you all ready for it, but this time with the full Update 7.6 notes that were released earlier today on MarvelStrikeForce.com. What are included in these patch notes? Well, we have the full kits for some of the new members of the Hive team, as well as the Reworks Carnage, Venom, and everything else. And if you're ready for all of that, Valley Club, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin and I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're talking all about the patch notes for update 7.6, which is coming later this week in Marvel Strike Force. But if this is your first time here on the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's a lot more. We have news videos, question and answer videos, gameplay videos, everything to help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But without further ado, let's get right into these patch notes. All right, Valley Club, this was the blog post that was up earlier today on MarvelStrikeForce.com. I was not in the house. I did not see it. Luckily for us, Mobile Gamer did record it and allowed me to use it in his videos. So big shout out to you, brother Mobile. But this was taken down after about an hour or so. And what Archangel says is some things still need to be updated from this blog post. So take everything in this with a grain of salt. He also said, in the meantime, do not trust the kits that were in the release notes blog that went up an hour ago. So we will be discussing the kits of the Hive team. Just keep in mind that this may change before the actual release notes goes back up in the game. So with that in mind, let's go take a look at the blog post. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the splash screen right here, because some people were saying they see an image of Professor X right here in this with a Cerebro helmet on. I don't see it. I actually thought this looked a little bit more Cyclops when I first saw this, but let me know your thoughts on this. Does this look more like Cyclops, Professor X, nothing, something else? I want to hear your thoughts on this, your opinion on this. All right, and the release notes for version 7.6, new playable characters, Nightcrawler, Sunspot, Forge, Venom, Void. No mention of Red Goblin, which is gonna be on this Hive team, so potentially not coming during this update. Extreme X-Men, newcomers, Nightcrawler, Sunspot, Forge, and then we also have Reworks coming to Cyclops and Gambit in this update as well. Hive is the new team, and this is going to be for the bio raids. This is a new raid team, and it's going to include newcomers Venom, Void Knight, Red Goblin, and the new Reworks to Venom, Carnage, along with the 5th character that they're mentioning here, which we know already is Red Goblin. All right, the ability and stat improvements, we have ability stat improvements for Gambit and Cyclops. We already discussed those in a video earlier during the weekend. So check out the full kits for the Extreme X-Men team from the video this weekend. We also have some of the reworks of Venom and Carnage, which again may be changing in its final version before 7.6 comes out. We have a new costume coming in 7.6, Echo's Family Legacy. Only one costume for a longer update, but they never released the Marvel's version of Captain Marvel. They never released the Photon costume. They never released a Doctor Strange costume. So hopefully sometime we're getting those costumes as well. We have some events coming as well. Extremely Sinister. Activate your X gene during this Extreme X-Men showcase that puts the power of this new mutant raid team on display while giving you valuable resources. That is something that they've done with all the previous teams that they've introduced in the game, these showcase events. They're doing the same thing with this Hive So if you are someone that's going to purchase these characters, give you a little extra value. We also have Escape from Kiln coming, that new version of Tower Mode that I'm looking forward to. You escape from the notorious, inescapable intergalactic prison Kiln. Fight through 40 cells, the galaxy's most ruthless enemies, with 3 character squads chosen based on a cell's requirements. Emerge victorious to earn rewards and freedom. So hopefully we got some good rewards for this, as good as they were for that Sword Satellite. And it's gonna be interesting. 3 character teams. Interested to see how this works. It looked, at least from the sound of it, from that 2023 second half preview, it's looking like they have the best of the previous tower modes that we've got. Also some elements of the Scourge where you could do as many runs as you want, but it resets at 0 every time you restart that. So I think how that could be problematic, but I'm hoping it's gonna be fun when it's launched. All right, new features and updates and more. New Gold Rush, Training Day, Origin Gear tier challenges. I mean, we've heard about this in many update notes and still have yet to have this introduced to the game. So I'm hoping that this actually goes in the game in update 7.6 and not just gets talked about like in previous updates. Legendary events. There's some big changes to legendary characters. This is helping a lot of new players unlock these characters faster, and also helping with these characters to unlock these legendary characters. All legendary characters below will now unlock at 2 yellow stars moving forward. which is great. You can unlock these characters a lot sooner. All right, Iron Man, going to be available at level 18. Tier 1 and Tier 2 requirements lowered. Still looking like Shield is going to be the requirements. We got a lot of Shield characters, got a lot of options to unlock that character. All right, Dr. Octopus, available at level 22. Tier 2 requirements lowered, and expanded requirements include Wave 1 and Defender, so not just X-Force characters, so there's really no reason to build them right now. You got some different options in Wave 1 Avengers, Defenders. I'm hoping that this is also extended to Secret Defenders because there is a reason to build them right now. Nick Fury, rejoice, new players. You don't have to build your Dirty Cream minions. It's gonna be available at level 30. Tier 2 requirements lowered. Expanded requirements, not just for Dirty Cream minions, but cosmic villains and heroes for hire. That is good stuff. That is really awesome stuff there. So you don't even need any cream minions anymore. Magneto still has a lot of mutants that you could use to unlock him, but it's going to be available at level 35, and it's going to be that 2-star unlock. Star-Lord is going to be available at level 38, and not just Guardians, but Cosmic Heroes can unlock him once this goes live. Phoenix, available at level 40. Not just villain Mystic controllers, but Mystic controllers. Shuri still has a lot of Spider-Verse characters. You could unlock her, and level 45 is when you could do it. Invisible Woman, expanded requirements to Mercenaries. I believe it was Sinister 6 that you could use to unlock Invisible Woman, but she's going to be available level 48. And Jubilee, expanded requirements to unlock her with Tech Heroes, and I believe that was X Factor, a few other characters to unlock Jubilee. And Black Bolt, available at level 55, and that is good. Now, all the characters that they mentioned, the following characters required by legendary events, also the Yellow Star unlocked requirement reduced to 2. So not only can you unlock those legendaries faster, but these characters that unlock legendary characters, you could also unlock them at 2, including Icarus. A few of these characters, Mr. Negative, some of these good characters in here. So good stuff there. The comedy changes, you may see legendary events taken down for a brief period of time. So all this stuff is good. We have some bug fixes here. Nothing really stood out too much to me. Characters sometimes having a T-pose with Sinister 6. Hopefully that bug is actually fixed when it goes live in the game. Testing the War Alliance screen with sometimes the overlap with a War Ready trait. I've had some issues with some characters, some screens overlapping in my game. Currency icons appear twice after the price after a piece in a store on offer. Mystique's ability had a little bug there as well, but I never noticed this. I never was really using Mystique for a long time. Enemy counterattack animations did not display correctly when attacked by Darkhawk's special ability, Dark Flurry. The character's weapon item would sometimes remain floating on the battlefield even after the character holding it was eliminated. So hopefully those are actually fixed. Now, let's talk about the Hive Mind team. And again, what they say here, this is a longer release window, so some characters' details may change before the release. So even if this blog post actually was up, these character kits still not final. So this is more of a preview of what is coming. All right, so the tags for Venom, Hero, City, Bio, Brawler, Spider-Verse, Symbiote, and Hive Mind. Her initial speed looks like it's gonna start out at 120. Let's see if that changes when she's released in the game. A basic called Savage Web. You're gonna clear barrier on the primary and adjacent targets. You're gonna attack the primary and adjacent targets for 320% damage and flipping 2 positive effects and negative effects and applying defense down. That's a strong basic. I'm not even done. Applying 2 bleeds to the primary target and then raise generate ability energy to self and all Hive Mind allies. My goodness, that is looking like that is got a great striker candidate. The ISO 8 counter assist is very similar. The damage numbers are slightly skewed. You're having a little more piercing, a little less total damage though. You're still flipping the positive effects, applying the defense down, applying the bleeds. All the good stuff that you're doing is good there, and still generating ability energy. So yeah, I think she's going to be a striker. The special Tongue Twister, energy cost 4 out of 4, gaining the opposite of all negative effects, excluding bleed on the primary target. Attacking the primary target, 320% damage, applying stun for 2 turns, attacking the adjacent targets, also 320% damage, generating ability energy for self and all Hive Mind allies, and in a raid, spreading positive effects, excluding stealth, taunt, and regeneration from self to all Hive Mind allies. I like this. She has a very strong kit. The ultimate, 3 out of 5, Symbiotic Fury, clearing all barriers from all targets, barrier self and all Hive Mind and Spider-Verse allies. So not just Hive Mind, this doesn't appear to be just in raids as well. 15% of this character's max health, attacking all enemies, 400% damage, plus offense down for 2 turns, applying offense up and defense up to self, all Hive Mind and Spider-Verse allies. And in the raids, you're gonna apply stun to the enemy with the highest damage, ignoring taunt and stealth, generating an ability energy for self and all hive mind allies. This attack gains 100% extra focus per symbiote ally. Moving on to the passive, very, very strong. When this character or a hive mind ally drops below 50% health, apply 2 evades to that character. On turn, heal self and all symbiote allies for 5% of this character's max health. And when this character's health is above 50%, you're going to gain 15% dodge chance. And when it's below, you're going to gain 30% drain. So you're going to gain more dodge when it has a lot of health. And when Venom has lower health, you're going to start to get it back slowly by draining enemies every time you attack. 60% focus, and Hive Mind and Spider-Verse allies are also going to gain 60% focus. I like that her passive isn't just in the raids, so maybe going to get some use for this character outside of raids, outside of this team. I'm going to know your thoughts though. Void Knight, the symbiote version of Silver Surfer. Traits: hero, cosmic, bio, support, symbiote, Hive Mind, speed 113, and the basic attack primary target 340% damage, flipping 3 negative effects into positive effects on self. This character has no negative effects, flipping 3 positive effects into negative effects on the primary target instead. Ooh, that seems interesting. So instead of flipping your negative effects to positive effects in self, you're gonna do the opposite on the primary target. In the raids, always flipping 3 positive effects into negative effects on the primary target, regardless if this character has any negative effects. Ooh, very, very strong, and this cannot be counterattacked. Very similar ISO 8 counter chance, getting little slightly different numbers on the damage and more piercing, but pretty much all the effects remain there. The special 6 out of 6 on the cooldowns, sealing up to 1 ability energy on the primary target. I like that because in the raids it gets better. Sealing up to 3 ability energy from the primary target. The primary and adjacent targets 350% piercing, plus applying defense down for 2 turns, and this attack cannot be counterattacked. So Void Knight, aka Symbiote Silver Surfer, is going to be stealing a lot of ability energy. That is helping because his cooldowns are pretty long on his special and his ultimate. His ultimate is a 5-turn cooldown, and what you're going to do, pull all enemies up to 2 spaces towards the primary target, then attacking the primary and targets within 2 spaces for 320% damage, flipping 3 positive effects into negative effects on all targets, and then you're gonna flip all positive effects on all Spider-Verse enemies. This is a very strong move. Applying ability block for 2 turns to the primary target. In raids, ability block goes to all the targets, and this attack gains 5,000% extra focus. It's unavoidable, cannot be counterattacked. That is a very, very strong ultimate there. The passive, enter the void on spawn. Generate 2 ability energy for self and all Hive Mind allies. So this is kind of the energy battery plus of the team. Generate 1 ability energy plus an additional ability energy per Hive Mind ally for this character. On turn, heal 3% of this character's max health. And when an enemy takes damage from bleed, heal self and all Hive Mind characters for 10% of this character's max health. Ooh, they're gonna have a lot of sustain because of all the bleeds that this team is throwing out. Venom throws out a lot, Carnage throws out a lot. Hopefully Red Goblin is throwing out a lot. And you're also going to gain 60% max health. Hive Mind allies are going to gain 30% max health. They're going to gain it back down here in the raids though, that extra 30%. Same thing with the armor, 60% health more for Void Knight. Hive Mind allies are going to gain 30%, but in the raids are going to gain that additional 30% to make it all even. In the raids, additionally, what they're going to do on spawn, speed it to self and all Hive Mind allies. On spawn, fill this character's speed by 25% and apply slow to the enemy with the highest speed. Enemies cannot gain immunity, and then the allies are going to gain more max health and more armor to match what Void Knight is getting. Some updates. Venom is getting updated. He's getting his stats boosted. He's an older character, so this is good. He's going to need that to survive in these current raids. His health going up by 51%. His base stats for his damage 57%. Armor going up by 30%, focus up by 47%, resistance up by 42%, and his speed is getting a boost as well, because as you may remember if you've used Venom in the past, very, very slow character, gonna have 14% speed boost. I don't think he's gonna be a fast character, but this helps. All right, his basic is it's now gonna attack the primary target 280% damage. Let me move this up a little. Instead of the 230% damage, you're gonna flip 2 positive effects into negative effects, applying bleeds. It looks like that was what was done previously, but the order of operations looks like it changed. This attack cannot be dodged. ISO and counter assist chance looks very similar to what the basic does. Some damage numbers are slightly different, lower damage, more piercing, kind of how a lot of these ISO 8 encounters are. The special, now what you're gonna do, attacking the primary target 380% damage, still doing an ability block for 1 turn and bleeds for 2 turns, 3 bleeds for 2 turns. but in the raids, you're getting all this additional value. Bonus attack, the primary target, and an additional 380% damage. That's a huge damaging move, prolonging all negative effects on the primary target by 1 up to a maximum of 3. This attack cannot be dodged, so much better special there. Let's take a look at the ultimate. It's going to attack the primary and adjacent targets 320% damage instead of 230, applying heal block for 2 turns and offense down for 2 turns. That is good. Spreading all negative effects from the primary target to all adjacent targets. This will still not spread stun. That's kind of what the move did before, but now you're also going to clear all negative effects from self, the most injured ally. This attack cannot be dodged now, and the passive symbiosis. On turn, you're still going to heal for 15% of this character's max health, but now you're going to apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all symbiote allies. You're going to gain 10% speed to a maximum of 30% speed, and you're also going to gain 100% focus. Any Spider-Verse character is present. That is persistent through his kit. Carnage also got stat updates and a very, very minor update to his kit. As you may remember, using this symbiote team, Carnage's passive was really what made that team tick, and Carnage's passive looks like it's gonna stay the same. Carnage base stats went up 44% to health, 62% to damage, 30% to armor, 39% to focus, and resistance went up by 42%. The only thing changed about Carnage's kit, at least according to this blog post, we'll see when the notes go back up if there's more changes, but at least according to this, the only thing that really changed the Carnage is the special. Still going to attack the primary target 420% damage, still 100% damage per negative effect. You're still going to remove all negative effects from the primary target outside of the raids, and you're still going to attack all adjacent targets for 250% damage. Now, in the raids, you're not going to remove the effects. You're just going to get all that extra damage from all those negative effects, and you're also going to attack the adjacent targets. Instead of that 250% damage, you're going to attack them by 420% damage. Now, the rest of this blog post looks like it was covered in previous videos. And if you want to check out the full kits to the Extreme X-Men and the Reworks to Gambit and Cyclops, make sure you check out the video up there. This video did provide you some value, though. Hit that like button. It is free for you and helps out the channel tremendously. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully this update goes well later this week. I'll see you guys next time, though. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.